Now that you understand how to find the vibration of a pyramid, I'm going to show you how to convert this vibration of this number into actual two different forces, which is going to help you to understand all the physical and psychological effects that that pyramid is going to have on you. So the very first thing that we do is we're just going to start out simply by drawing a 90-degree angle. This is going to help us to understand the vibration, get a visual representative of it. To make this really easy, I'm going to change the vibrations we used before into just a couple simple ones. So we'll use 45 degrees, we'll use 30 degrees, and 60 degrees. Now remember, your 31 is the tall, skinny. 45 would be a perfectly balanced pyramid at 90 degrees. And the 60-degree vibration would be the shorter, wide pyramid. So those are the three different types of pyramids. Now, if our pyramid that we measured came out at exactly 45 degrees, simply all we do is measure outward 45 degrees. That's it. If we show that down here, we're going to have 45 degrees, 45 degrees, 45 degrees. And what it starts to create is this type of sine wave, or this type of vibration here. Now this 30-degree one, which comes out this direction, is going to come this way. So produce a whole different type of vibration, where this 60-degree one will come here. And of course, one is a lot more up and down. The 30-degree is a lot more horizontal. I'll draw them out for you, spread out a little bit so that you can see them a little better here. So here we have our three different types of vibrations: 60 degrees, 45 degrees, and 30 degrees. Again, you can see this 30 degrees is a lot more horizontal, whereas the 60 degrees is a lot more vertical. So we actually call this a low frequency and a high frequency. Okay, the difference is the amount of energy that's moving in your horizontal direction is actually tied in with the amount of physical energy. Whereas vertical is actually tied in with the amount of mental or internal energy. So what we start to have is these opposites. We have external or physical energy, or we have internal and mental energy. What we also have is time and space. Now, how does this actually work? Well, if you hurt or injure yourself, that type of vibration is a lot more like this. In other words, if you've ever hurt yourself, instantly everything stops. Time stops, and all your focus and all your attention, which is internal in space, becomes so activated that you can get yourself out of danger, out of injury. So this vibrational system, literally, we all run off of every single moment of every day. Now what I'm going to show you is something absolutely magnificent. If I add simply a second vibration onto here, watch what happens. We start getting symbols or geometry that starts to reflect or represent DNA, which is a vibrational system. We're going to get a little bit more into that, but that is how the vibration is converted into two different forces: an up force and a side force, or horizontal and vertical, or what I also call physical and time, versus mental or internal and space. So two different forces. This is where we get into the yin and the yang. Okay? Now here, I'm going to show you something interesting. Why would we put on a second vibration? Remember how we divided this by 2? That was simply to make things a little simpler, a little easier when you're first mapping it out. So what I'm going to build here now, 0 degrees, 90 degrees. What's this one down here? We can call this one 90, or we can call it actually 180 degrees. And here's the really neat part. We have pyramids. And this pyramid here is actually 90 degrees. We divide that by 2, that equals 45 degrees. Well, so I map it here as 45 degrees. I will also map it down. This should be 90. I will also map it down here, 45 degrees, which actually starts to create the pyramid here. So then what you have is here, here. And because there's one pyramid here, and then of course it starts creating second pyramid and third pyramid, we have this line that gets created inside. And of course that's where the symbols really start to look like DNA. So this is how to really map the entire pyramid out in completion. The 0 to 90 degrees, when we cut it in half to 45, that's really designed to understand a little bit more depth in how these two forces work. So that there is the secret behind the capstone as it determines the type of vibration that's going to be produced.